YouTube, time for another video. This one's just sort of a compilation of stuff. What have I been doing lately? Well, I told you guys I would make some more videos. Well, I've been working on a business, an online E-type business. Also making, for you reenactors, if there are any out there, making this right here is chainmail. It's a big like necklace for SCA Renaissance Festival. This is called a Persian or the King's Weave. So I've got a little business there. But what have I been playing? Haven't had a lot of spare time. Been playing this. As you guys know, War Machine. I'm sure you've heard about it. War Machine's been a nice little distraction from 40K. Our 40K, the shop that has 40K in our area, they've been running a lot of leagues, and unfortunately it's on nights that I can't really make, so haven't been playing much 40K in the last month or so. Been playing a little bit of War Machine, and if you want to know, I've got Cricks, Minoth, and Scorn. What I've really been playing and enjoying, this right here. Take a look. Dun dun dun! Whoops! It's facing the wrong damn way. Right there. Dystopian Wars. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but you've probably heard of Spartan Games. They had Uncharted Seas, which is like a naval fantasy combat game. Then they had Firestorm Armada, which was really a better version than Battlefleet Gothic. It was a space combat game. And then this one right here, Dystopian Wars. Dystopian Wars is like set in the 1870s, sort of futuristic, steampunk kind of game. And this game right here, right now there's 4 factions with 4 or 5 more on the way. This is sort of the scale of like Epic is for Warhammer. The ships, I'm going to show you a little bit what comes in a starter box, but right now they've got the naval and a little bit of the air stuff out. They're going to have more air and then land units, and you're going to be able to mix and match all of them together. Right now at our shop, I played more games of this in the last month than I have anything else. Well, actually all my games combined. The one thing that I'm really liking that War Machine and the GW games don't have is that you activate one unit, then your opponent activates, instead of, oh look, I go first, I crush your whole army, you lose. So I'm really enjoying this right now. The rules, it's Spartan Games' 3rd game system. It may be well be their 4th, but this is their third big one. Some people got into it, saw a couple of videos online. It sold me, and with it being the 3rd game system, I figured they'd worked out the rules where they needed to be. Each of the starter boxes, they run about $55 retail. Of course, you can find them cheaper online if you go that route. And all the boxes are somewhere in the 700 point range. And you think, well, that's just a starter box. Well, you know what? It actually offers you a lot of options. It's the best starter box. It's even better than the Privateer Press and then the GW Battalion boxes. It's less money. And you get for the value, you get a lot of stuff. Let's take a look at what you get. This right here is the Prussian Empire Naval Battle Group. This is the starter box I was telling you about. As you can see, it's got a battleship, 3 cruisers, 9 frigates. Oh heck, let's just show you the backside. You know, you get 2 metal bombers and then 10 tiny flyers. And let's take a look at everything that comes in this box set. Alright, first thing in the box, if you notice right here, you get 9 of these. These right here, sorry guys, I need to focus this in a little bit better. But these right here are frigates. They got a gun on the front and some Tesla coil shooting. These guys are really fast. The Prussians, I hate to use this word, but for their naval guys, they're sort of the close combat army or boarding action. They have more assault marines on their ships typically than do the other races, and they're fast. That means they don't have quite as much firepower or guns, but that's how this plays. Anyway, you can see these are resin. These are not plastic. And like I said, this is $55. You get 9 of these. The frigates here come in a squadron of 2 to 4. and that's how, you know, so you could split that up and go any route you want with that. The next unit are the cruisers here. You can see they've got a metal gun. These are also, you know, like I said, resin. And these guys have a little more firepower, some arc, port and starboard firing guns, some rear Tesla stuff. And these guys are a good workhorse currently for your Navy group. And then you have the battleship, the Big Mac Daddy currently, and you have some extra turrets. The Prussian comes with 3 turrets. You can replace one of the guns or one of the turrets with, this is for a shield generator and 2 other kind of generators, another kind of Tesla coil that kills the assault points or the Marines or the boarding party stuff, and then a different kind of generator. I'm not sure exactly what it does. I've only played 4 or 5 games with this so far. This guy, he's for killing other battleships. And, you know, well, I'll get into the arcs and stuff in a minute. Let's finish going over the starter box. Also in the starter box you get 10 of these. They're called tiny flyers. I don't know if you can see. The Prussians are sort of Y-shaped here. Everybody's tiny flyers are different shapes, look different, but everybody's tiny flyers are the same as far as what you get. And what I mean by what you get is tiny flyers can be fighters. Fighters obviously shoot down other tiny flyers and stuff. You have dive bombers, which have to get within 4 inches to drop their bombs on a ship. You have torpedo bombers that have a range of 8. And then you have a reconnaissance plane. Everybody has those 4 options for their tiny flyers. And depending on what country you're playing, your dive bombers like the Prussians, they have special rules. Where the torpedo bombers for the Japanese have a special rule, and so forth. Now let me talk about the 4 races real quick. Well, I'll tell you what, let's finish up the battle box. Then we'll talk about the 4 races. Right here are what they call medium bombers. These are metal, you can see, with a clear stand. What I like about these, notice there's no nipple. It's flat. A lot of GW stuff has that nipple, or they used to. I don't know if they used, you know, and it just snaps off. Well, that's a pretty sturdy base. These medium flyers are very similar in stats to like a flying cruiser, so they're pretty durable. They're a really good unit in the game, and that's what comes as far as ships in the starter box. Remember, this is all for like $55. Alright guys, last thing that comes in the starter box are these card stock type counters and templates. These are actually, I'm surprised, they're actually pretty decent. You notice this says large turning template, there's medium, it says small upside down, and then you got the 45. Depending on your class, and it says it on the back of your card, like a battleship is a large class ship, you would use this turning template whenever you wanted to make a turn. So obviously if you're a medium, and it spells out the class on every card. And so there's a look at those. I've been lazy, haven't cut mine out. I always use my buddies who I've been playing against. Next thing you get here, whoop, upside down. These are like wound tokens for your ships. Some ships take 2 points of damage and they sink. Some take, you know, up to 8, 9, 10. And some of these numbers here are also used for, you know, the assault marines or boarding parties. You got mines, a derelict ship. I'm thinking about taking these down to Kinko's or Office Depot, having them a color copy made and then laminated. That way I always have these. Then you also have some more templates which we haven't used yet, are mines. And this is some kind of vortex. This template is similar to the Privateer Press. It's got 8 directions. You roll an 8-sided dice to see where things scatter, where Privateer Press obviously is a 6. And then the last sheet, remember all this comes in the starter box, is like there's special, you get a chance, you can roll a critical, and you roll 2 dice, and from 2 to 12 depends on what it is. These are all your critical markers, and depending on what you roll, anywhere from fire to half the attack dice, submerge. You know, these clouds is when your flyers are obscured. That means they're flying up in the clouds and they're harder to hit. This symbol right here means this is your Commodore, or where your leader is in your fleet. And, you know, just half movement, stuff like that. Anyways, these come with the starter box. Alright guys, the Dystopian Wars rule book. I think it's $32. It's similar to the Privateer Press ones, not their army books, but their other ones. This has all the factions, has the core rules in it. It has a lot of color. And what I like is it has stats and stuff for units coming out. It doesn't have a picture of every unit, which is sort of a bummer. But, you know, it's got the stats for all the Britannia stuff that's going to be associated with the game. And, you know, whether it's the battleships or the land bombards and stuff like that. It's a good book. Not as well organized as, say, the Privateer Press book, but you can find the rules. There are a lot of rules to this game, so if you're wanting a light war game where you don't have to have a lot of rules and think a lot, then, you know, I would say give it a try, because once you got the rules down, it's really a fun game. It has the exploding dice mechanic. If you don't know what that is, I'll probably show that in one of my videos. Anyways, let's move on to the next part. Alright guys, here's the cards that also come in the book. This is, the starter box. It tells you, what each one of your units does. All that information's in the rule book also. This is a good handy card. And I'll probably be doing a how to play Dystopian Wars video here soon. And like I said, we're really enjoying this game. I like the aspect that, you move one unit, I move one unit, and that kind of thing. And for those of you that have played, I guess, the other Spartan games, they have card decks. And you're probably going, what the hell is card decks? This is a dice game. Well, yeah, it is. But you have a certain number of cards, and they do special things, like instead of you taking an activation and then your opponent, you can play a card and you get 2 activations in a row. I haven't played with the card decks yet. I just got them. Our store was sold out of Dystopian Wars, and for over a month couldn't get any new stuff in. And the guy I play with next game, we're going to play with the cards, so I look forward to that. And guys, if you're looking for something that's change of pace, easy to get into, is really hot, got a good theme. I don't want to sound like a Dystopian War fanboy, but yeah, I guess I am. It's, like I said, steampunk. It's relatively inexpensive to get into. The quality of the models, they are resin, but here's the downside. The quality isn't bad, but the quality, Spartan Games is a small company. The quality is good, but it's not great. It's not going to be GW great, as far as, we all know that GW makes very good plastics, and, well, they make the best plastics in the gaming world, I think. And their metals are really good, too. They're new metals. I mean, they got some sculpts that are old, but you know what I'm saying. Privateer Press, their metals are getting better. Their plastics aren't as close yet. But these guys are resin, and they've got more stuff coming out. And like I said, if you're looking for a change of pace that's relatively inexpensive, I would go by your local gaming store and check out a game. I'd watch a game or two before buying, because I tell you what, I'm enjoying it. Anyways, I told you guys I'd have an update. I'm about to run out of battery. In my last video, I said I'm going to pick another 40K army to play. It was between Tyranids, Space Wolves, Blood Angels. Well, I'm leaning more towards Blood Angels currently. I know there are some Space Wolves guys out there really pulling for me. But next month, we've got, oh my God, freaking Grey Knights. These guys are going to be some badass mofos. Let me tell you, if you guys haven't seen any of the rules for them, go by your local gaming store and look at their black box. Look through the codex. These guys are going to be able to rake face. So who knows, maybe I'll be one of the fanboys and jump on the latest army craze and go that route. They can use Razorbacks, which I've got 3 or 4 sitting around unbuilt. They can use Chimeras for, or Chimeras, or however you want to say it, for transports. No more Imperial Guard for the Demon Hunters or Grey Knights. But you know what? They've got a Dread Knight that is a monstrous creature. It looks like a big walker, but it's got toughness 6, I think 4 wounds. He's badass. Anyways, check out the latest book, the Grey Knights, coming out. I may have to jump on that boat. But anyways, if you're looking for a change of pace, do an online search or go to Spartan Games. It's British, so Google Spartan Games. I'm not sure exactly what their website is. And you can probably find a retailer in your area.